Welcome back, Blade fans. This old sword is with you once again. And I'm going to show you a petrified fish today. But before I show you the latest petrified fish that I have, you may be familiar with petrified fish models like this beautiful warrior in ebony wood and K110 steel. One of my favorite petrified fish designs, along with the beluga, of course, and the beluga tanto. And here is the deep sea. I think some real beautiful quality, bang for the buck, also K110. But I came across something on the White Mountain website recently. Had this for a little bit, for a few weeks, didn't rush to get it out. It's interesting in that I bet you may not have been aware of the fact that Petrified Fish offers an auto, and that White Mountain does carry auto knives. If you look up in their menu, they do have a completely separate site devoted to automatics. This one was there, and I think it only came in at like 40 bucks or some ridiculous thing. Well, you know me, had to experiment and try it out. Since then, when I put a video of this up on Instagram, somebody said it was really just kind of a knockoff of a Russian knife, or maybe a rebranding of a cheap, quote unquote, gas station knife or garage knife. I love that. How many of you own garage knives? Maybe a few of you do. You use them to put tires on and off? Deflate the tires, maybe. Okay. Enough kidding around. This one is the, where is the box? This one is the, and I marked it auto, this is the PF 718. 718. And you'd think, well, maybe an expensive knife would be D2. No, it's in another inexpensive but stainless steel. It's in AUS 8. And not that we haven't seen AUS 8 from Spyderco and Cold Steel and maybe some old Benchmade models made overseas. But it's kind of neat. So every once in a while, you can't always go for the best quality knife. And there isn't anything really bad about this, except it's a bit of an anchor for its size. It's all steel. Yep, steel everything, including the blade, I hope. It does say AUS 8 on it. Let's open it up again and check it out. So there's your Petrified Fish logo. Here is the steel marker, AUS 8, and the model name, PF718. Interesting, it's got a hole here which serves no purpose because you're not going to open it with that. It has a double lock, which works quite well. I mean, very similar to some Bokers in a slightly higher price range. It's got a clip that is not deep carry, and it is fast, by the way. Did I say it was fast? I just hit the background, my reflector, that is. It's fast. It's pretty fast. So, that much is good. Do I have a tape measure nearby? Seem to be losing things lately. Oh, I know why. Using them to measure packages and whatnot that I'm mailing out. Overall length of this PF718 is almost 9 inches. It's not small. 8 3/4. 3 3/4 blade length, with slightly less than that for a cutting edge. And we're set to inches, so let's take a look at the handle first. 0.47, pretty thin. 0.11 blade stock, and that's 2.7 millimeters. Here's where it gets interesting. There's no weight relieving on the knife. Steel handle, which means it's going to be pretty rigid and strong. And it weighs 5.61 ounces. So for its size, I think a little on the heavy side. But are you going to get picky about a $40 knife? Probably not. Is the clip switchable to the left side? No. Do we have some fancy decorative holes in the pommel? Oh, yes, we do. And it is a green G10. Not sure it comes in any other colors. Might come in a black. Again, fast and positive. A little bit of wobble, as you might expect from an inexpensive auto. Not terrible. Again, it's about the same as some Bokers I've had. How about side-to-side play? Negligible, if anything. I'm not really picking up any side-to-side blade play. Just a little bit of lock rock. Essentially, it's a plunge lock. It's a button lock, but it's got a spring in there. So spring engages right around at 90 degrees. And it does lock in positive. The safety works perfectly. And it's pretty good size in the hand. No guard whatsoever. No jimping, but you got to stop here with this raised portion. And you can also drop your thumb nicely right there. Pretty piercy, and it's got a little hint of a recurve in there. Drop point blade, point pretty much on center, so it's stabby. And once it's open and in the hand, it's maybe a little pommel heavy because of the mass of steel that's back there. It's wide open with 2 barrel spacers. And again, it locks up right there on the plunge lock and on the locking pin in the front. Pin is not particularly robust, so I'm not sure how many opens it will survive without getting maybe a little bit looser. Not sure. You got what looks like a T8 pivot there and one on the other side. I have not bothered disassembling it. I stay away from disassembling auto knives. There are probably people that are more proficient at that than I am and probably could even reassemble them once they take them apart. So putting it up alongside the Warrior, if you know this knife, it is about a 1/2 inch longer. Against the Griptilian, it is about 1 inch longer than the Griptilian. And against the venerable Rat 1 from Ontario Knives, it's identical in length and in blade length. So there you have it. An interesting knife from Petrified Fish. And I'm going to have to look again. It is the 718. What's interesting is, well, it says black, but I think that means the blade is black, not the handle, which is obviously a kind of a dark forest green, maybe an olive drab, maybe. We will open and close it a couple more times for you. And oh yeah, it's pretty sharp. So I thought I would do a little paper cut here. Oh, it's rippy. Yeah, it's got some micro serrations going on there. So it's sharp in the grabby sense. And high grind, pretty slicey. I think you could make a pretty good utility knife out of this if where you are allows auto knives. Good beater of an auto knife if you want to go down that road. But that is the 718, the PF 718 Petrified Fish, a knife you may not have known about. Hope you enjoyed this review. If so, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back soon.